Right, so just before we get started, I want to make sure that you are subscribed to Colliver Cubes and that you are following my Instagram at Colliver Cubes from posting cool pixel art and patterns on several of my cubes. So yeah, let's get into it. So today I thought I would do another tutorial, and this time I'm doing a 3x3 shape mod. And this 3x3 shape mod is the Mirror Cube. So it is a 3x3 shape mod because it still has 3 different sides which you can turn on. And so, in essence, this is a 3x3. It's just hard to see that once it's scrambled up. So this is just a 3x3, and for this tutorial I will be expecting that you can solve a 3x3 and you have watched my 3x3 tutorial, because I will be using that method in this tutorial of the mirror block. So, yeah, I guess the first thing to do is to get this scrambled. So yeah, I'll go and do that now. Right, so now that we have the cube all scrambled, you can tell that it doesn't look like a cube anymore. This doesn't look like you can really solve it. It's just all muddled up and the shapes are all weird. So, if you take 3x3, you'd solve it by matching the colours. On a mirror block, you solve it by matching shape and size. So, take this piece. This piece is really thin and quite small. Whereas if you take this piece, this is like really tall and quite thick and all that. So that is how you solve this cube. So first of all, the first step, like on a 3x3, it is to make the cross. But obviously it's kind of harder. And so the easiest way to do it is either start with the smallest side with all these really thin pieces, or on the biggest side with all the long pieces, and they will be at opposite ends of the cubes. So I'm just going to start with the long side because I have one piece already attached. So I'm just going to spin that until it's nice and flush, so I can tell that this piece is now in the correct position. It's all nice and flush. So I'll now find another long piece. Right, this looks pretty tall. I'll spin it around till it's flush. Oh, there we go. It's now flush with the centre. I can bring that down to my cross, and it does fit. So this piece is supposed to go here. Another tall piece. Right, this piece here. So I guess I'll take it out of there and get it up into the top layer. And there we go. It's now flush with this centre. I can bring it down. And the last piece, here it is, I can match up to be flush with the centre like that. Bring it across and bring that back. So this is a more advanced way of making the cross than I did in the 3x3 tutorial, where I told you to make the daisy and all that. But this is another way of making the cross, but because it is slightly harder, I will scramble up and do it once again, just so you fully understand how this process works. Right, so first you just find any tall piece or any small piece. Okay, I'll go with the small side this time. Actually, no, 2 pieces. So these pieces are flush with this centre and they're already in the correct spot. And same with this piece. So now I need to find another small piece. There we go, already flush. Bring that down, and the last thin piece is here. So I can bring it up into the top layer, and now bring that down. So pretty much just mess around until you've got the cross in all the correct places, and then you're going to need to fill in these corners. And so again, you're going to be using the same algorithm as before. So I've got this corner piece here that's quite small, which is a very small piece, so it's going to go in the smallest spot. So you do the algorithm I taught before, R prime, D prime, R, D, and keep on repeating that until it's in the correct layer. And now you're going to have to do that with another one. Right, this one looks like it's in the spot already. So R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D. And you should already know all the special cases, like if pieces are in different slots from the tutorial. Right, I've now got this thin piece, I can bring that across to where it looks like it should be. Should be here. R prime, D prime, R, D. And this last piece, I can bring across and put in like that. So as you can tell already, this is very much like the 3x3, using all the same algorithms. It's just noticing shapes instead of colours. So now we go on to the second layer, so we're going to be using the same algorithm as we did to do the second layer in the 3x3 tutorial. So find a piece, move it around until it's flush with the centre, there we go. And then, right, so this time it needs to go to the left, so I move it away, bring that layer up, bring it back, pull the layer back down, rotate, push it away, bring that layer up, put it back and down. And there we go, it's in the correct spot. Now I've got this piece, this needs to go to the left as well. So I can just do that to put it in. And this last piece, this piece seems like it should go in there. So there we go, put this in. And so that is now the second layer done. So as you can tell, this is very much like a 3x3. Can layer and all that. So now you've got to get the cross again, and you can tell whether a piece is upright, basically whether it's flush with this centre. So I can tell that none of these pieces are the correct way up, so I'm just going to keep using the algorithm that I taught until they are all up. So F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Do that again. Again. So maybe turn that top layer and there we go. No. Let's see if I can do this. And one more time, F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. There we go. Now they are all flush. So the next step, again, like in the tutorial, is getting all these sort of edge pieces so they're flush with both of the centres. So this piece is nice and smooth, and none of the other pieces are. So you're going to be using the algorithm that I've taught before. Okay, so this piece needs to go here. So you do R. So the algorithm which swaps these two pieces. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime, U. Okay, and now I can swap these two using the algorithm. And there we go. Now I have all of them upright and they're all nice and flush. Okay, so now we need to do the same thing but with the corners. So you'd find one corner that's in the correct spot, or if there are no corners in the correct spot, just do the algorithm once. And you need to do this algorithm. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And right, so this actually solved the cube for me somehow. So I'll just mess up the corners again and get back to this point so I can show you the last step. Right, so I've now messed up the corners. So now you need to find one corner that is in the correct spot. That could be in the correct spot. Let me just think, is that in the correct spot? That might be in the correct spot. What about this one? Okay, so I think this is in the correct spot. So you use the algorithm, U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And that doesn't look like they're all in the correct spot, so I'll do that algorithm once again. And see if the corners are then in the correct spot. Right, that looks correct. And now you need to just orient the corners using an algorithm we've already used, which is R prime, D prime, R, D. And just keep on repeating that until it's nice and flush and correct. Then move the next corner to that position to keep on repeating that step. And there we go, might need to do a couple final turns. But your mirror block should now be solved. Right, so this is an extra step. So I have a Shengshou mirror block which has these lines going across them. And so you may be able to see from the light that the centres aren't oriented right. So if yours has lines on it, or the pieces need to be, or the centres need to be oriented to be properly solved, you can do this extra step. So find two centres that need to be rotated and do this algorithm. M prime, U, M, U prime. And then keep on repeating that until the puzzle is solved again. And that will rotate both of the centres. And there you go, that has now rotated these two centres. They're now correct. I can do it with these two. So do that algorithm. And there we go. And now I can do it with these two centres. And so this will fully finish off the cube. But as I say, your mirror block might not need this. And this is an optional step for if the mirror block has these lines. Right, so thank you for watching this Conifer Cubes video. I hope you have enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, do all of that. And yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.